Go back to the start. Where's that one? What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Logan Cole's Converge podcast. This is going to be a solo episode sponsored by my newly cut mullet, so that's what we're going to go ahead with. Now, today's episode, I want to get straight into it. No sponsors, no one wants to sponsor this podcast yet. It's a useless podcast, but if you're listening, thank you very much for listening or watching the podcast. Now, the topic I want to go over today is the matter of working out and training, or working out v training, and the difference between those, because I don't know if it's a issue or something that goes through people's heads in any commercial, maybe like any Globo gyms, but definitely when I was or as I became more involved in CrossFit, I learned that a lot of people don't know the difference and what neurological adaptation is before you actually put them into a workout. So the things I want to go over today, because it came up the other day when I was actually at the gym, is training v working out. Now, let's look at working out first, because that's the one that most people, I guess, would call like the hard part of training. So like your heavy squats in CrossFit, your hard working out, your heavy deadlifts, like the stuff that really makes you sweat, the stuff that like you get to a point and it's just a matter of the grind and you have to get through it. So you just don't really learn anything though, but like it is a very obviously important part of your program is your workout and being able to get results, etc. Now, training on the other hand is the one that people might call sometimes accessories or something like that. Stuff that makes those bigger movements or those workouts actually come to fruition. Make it better. Make it sure you're not getting injured. Make sure you're working on the smaller parts to make the bigger parts work smoother. So for example, let's just go to a story. The other day I was at the gym and someone had weighted back to do double unders after their workouts. Now, double unders, if you don't know, is a workout movement where it's like skipping, except when you go to skip, you jump and it goes around twice. So you jump, flick of the wrist, and it goes around twice. When you try and do this kind of movement, which is a new movement to most people, I'm assuming, well, before you do a movement of any kind, you have to learn it first. But these kind of movements are something that like someone has to click in your head, because you don't usually do it. You're at primary school, high school, whatever, you're doing skipping, it's like single skips, no one's doing double unders. So when you do these kind of movements, you need a neurological adaptation. You need your brain to be able to register what you're doing in an unfatigued state, which would mean that you should be doing this kind of stuff at the start. You need to be able to establish and not go, hey, I'm going to get to the gym and do the workout, and then after it, hey, I have to practice those double unders or those handstand walks or something that requires you to think of like a handstand push-up, for example. When you go down, your legs kind of have to follow down, and when you go up, you kick up, and it's like something that you need to be able to do without having the stress of like your body already being sore from working out. So what you need to be able to do is look at the parts of your training that require these like new movements, whether it be double unders, whether it be handstand push-ups, whether it be handstand walk, even like a kipping pull-up, anything that requires a kip, whether it's toes to bar, muscle ups. You can't practice that in a fatigued state, because it does require some kind of strength. But if you're fatigued and you try and do these movements, they are pretty demanding on the body. So if you try and do them when you're under fatigue, you're not going to get it, and then you're going to be like, why can't I get this, why can't I get it, and you're constantly like just going to frustrate yourself rather than learn these new movements. So when you go into the gym and you have something like that, you want to be able to get there. Don't get there for training and go, I'm going to do it after. Get there 10 minutes early and then do 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be something that you work on for hours. For example, let's have a situation. Double unders are the one that are in my mind, because this was a conversation that I had the other day at the gym. You don't want to fatigue yourself doing the movement either. A lot of people think because like, oh, it's under fatigue, that's where I'm going to be doing the working out. I need to do it under fatigue. But the thing that people don't understand with that is that if you do it under fatigue, your mind never clicks and your body's never in a position to learn it, rather than it's always going to be fatigued and your body's under stress already, and then you're putting it under more stress that it doesn't know what it's doing, so then it doesn't get better at doing the movement. So you would rather go to training, and for example, a very common method of training when you're in a CrossFit gym is an every minute on the minute. So for example, if you do not know how to do one double under, if you can get 5 together, if you can get 5 done, or 5 or 2 pull-ups because you finally get the kit. If you're doing a pull-up and you can't get 1 and then you get 3, it means you've got the movement. You just need to now be able to do more under fatigue. So maybe you can do those under fatigue next time, or do them in the workout now. But when you're practicing them, you do not want to do them under fatigue. You want to get your brain to register what you're trying to do with the kit and get that flow occurring, rather than doing it when you're tired and your body's it doesn't know how to do it. So it's not going to do it when it's tired. Let's go back to working out. If you want to train these specific movements, you do not want to be fatiguing yourself doing them. So you could aim for, say, to do 3 to 5 double unders or 2 pull-ups every minute on the minute. And yeah, this will probably take you like 10 seconds to get done. Like you'll get them done in 10 seconds. But don't think, and then when that 10 seconds is up, go, oh my God, I've got 50 seconds to wait. It's like, yeah, but that also gives you enough time to rest and be able to, perform like that again. So rather than being fatigued and trying to do it and tripping over the rope and going, fuck, I can't do this, you are able to recover and then do another 5. And then that's when, once you can do that, then you can put them into a workout and it will be all hunky-dory. Like you'll be able to then put it into the workout, then you can do it. If there's any other movements, you can do it. It doesn't take long, you just need to know how to train it properly. And this goes the same for any kind of like technical movements. You look at something that's strong, like people see a lot of movements like a squat or a deadlift, and they think, oh, this is just like a real brute strength thing. I just need to rip it off the floor. I just need to get out of this squat. It's like, if you don't go in and do the mobility and practice the mobility for minutes, I guess like mobility is a very neurological thing, but maybe when you're going over and you might be folding over too far forward in a squat, that might be something neurological that your brain is doing and it shouldn't be. So you need to go through it lighter weights and every minute on the minute perform something that you're straight up and down. So then your technique is like on point when you actually go in and you're doing like your 3RM, 2RM, whatever you want to do. So that is just honestly a topic that I came across in the gym, and it's kind of a new one to me. It's come up in like the last probably 18 months, this new concept of having to do things that I wasn't able to click, because I was like in the gym. I know I've done accessory movement before, but I didn't know why I was doing them, and I probably didn't do them at the start of the workout. And I know when I first went into CrossFit and I was going, I'm going to learn my double unders, I'll do it after. And then I'd be doing them after and tripping up all the time while I'm pissing out sweat from the 30-minute AMRAP I just did with some other shoulder movement in it, which meant that my shoulders were fatigued, my legs were fatigued, and then I was trying to jump over this rope and learn a completely new movement. So that is one thing I did learn. Make sure you're able to establish what is your training and what is your working out. The working out is the hard shit, the stuff that you've practiced for and now you're putting it into work. The training is the stuff that you don't know, and you may need to take a couple of steps back. And this might include for your Olympic lifts, like a technical thing for a snatch or a clean and jerk or a double unders or muscle ups, ring muscle ups, something like that, where you need to take a step back and learn a couple of new things before you start going ahead with them and really putting in work on them, building up that fatigue and getting better at doing them more and doing high reps. So that's something that I definitely suggest that you guys look into. But that is the topic for today, and I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you can go away and learn or be able to establish the difference between your training and working out, and maybe you'll be able to get a little bit further in your training that you weren't able to do before, and start killing it in that movement that you've been trying for so long and are able now to succeed in. But anyway, that's the end of this episode. Guys, if you haven't yet, follow me at Logan Cole on Instagram with 4 E's at the end. There's the at Logan Cole's Convo podcast. Make sure you subscribe, give this one a rating, give us some feedback. If you want to hear about anything else, contact me anywhere, whether it's info@logancoleonline.com or even slide into the DMs, but be appropriate when you slide into those DMs. Till the next episode, guys, enjoy.